All right. First of all, let me give a shout out to all you guys that have been attending the streams. It just seems like the streams during the day, you guys are very attentive. You guys are active. You guys are there, man. And I appreciate you guys being there. Of course, look at the stream schedule. We have that live on pretty much all of my digital platforms, social media platforms, that is. So you can go check those out. We are live 7 p.m. tonight, actually. So by the time you see this video, I may actually be live on Twitch. We're streaming on Twitch today. Twitch.tv/YoungGrouper59. I'd love to see you over there. All right. The thing that makes this ironic is because I don't know if ironic is the proper term. But if you were at the stream this morning or afternoon, I discussed how, and we had watched a few videos. We had people in the chat sort of alluding to this or saying this. And, we've had some sort of mixed things that have been said from actual government officials regarding the numbers of deaths from this Modelo virus. And I remember specifically talking about during the stream that I know that people are saying the stats are being padded. They're counting deaths towards this regardless. And if you've watched my videos, I've never led with that. I've only said, I believe, hey, I know that some of you feel a certain kind of way about the number of deaths there are and so forth when regarding the confirmed cases. But I've never been in on the conspiracy because it's not anything that I can prove in that regards. I just can't prove it. And like I've said in multiple videos, if new data or new evidence is introduced, I am not so stuck in my way, no matter where I'm at, that I have to, I don't know, because I want this end game to be the end game. I have to not accept the evidence for what it is or not accept what's being, as the truth, let's say, becomes more and more clear. Definitely with something that's early on. So, look, in the stream, I remember specifically me saying that it's hard to prove. I don't know. Now it seems like we're well beyond maybe still a conspiracy, but we're well beyond the theory part of this in regards to them stat padding. So out of nowhere, New York City added it's a big number, 3,700 people who never even tested positive, but they just presumed to have died from it. Does that make sense to you guys? Where out of nowhere, new data that they introduce, and out of nowhere it's 3,700 people, and all of a sudden those 3,700 people all died from the Modelo virus, having never tested positive for it. So they don't know. They just assume. Oh my God, this is so irresponsible. And it leads me, it's like, why are we doing this? What exactly is the motive here? And that part is still up for question. I know a lot of people are like, it's about control, it's about this, it's about that. But this is odd. And I know when it comes to something like, let's say, for example, influenza, the numbers that they project in terms of, let's say, the deaths, or more so in determining, let's say, the number of people that had it, and trying to determine fatality rates, okay? They try to use these models to project how many, even though all of those thousands or millions upon people that have it were never actually tested for it. That's just the route that they go, and I completely understand that, okay? I completely understand that. But this is something that is so early on, right? We have the whole entire country pretty much on lockdown because of this, okay? So the whole entire country is on a lockdown, and where the epicenter is in America, you're adding things to it while not to the death specifically, while having these people never tested positive for it. I think that's just irresponsible. I just think that's so irresponsible. Like, what are we doing here? You guys couldn't find out that for a fact before you included them in the numbers of deaths. Well, not even confirmed cases, like or cases, people that they thought that had it. Which I think, as more of these sort of antibody tests and stuff get rolled out, you're going to see like as they try to guess the infected fatality rate. That is, you'll see more stuff added, and we can't actually confirm it because not every single person has been tested. But for deaths, this is kind of nutty, man. Now, this is where I want to hear from my followers. Like, what the? Why do you think they're doing this? Why do you think they're doing this? This is so, I don't know, man. I don't understand this. I just don't understand it. Why do you, I'd love to hear from you guys. Why do you think they're doing it? Why do you think that they're trying to, look, this is active stat padding. I know everybody's thought this stat pattern from other things. You know, you're seeing a decline in other deaths. So people are they're attributing any death, anybody that tests positive. And this was more so where I heard the conspiracy, if you will, the most was that people were like, okay, just because they had it does not mean that was the main thing that attributed to their death in terms of even if they have underlying conditions. We know that, such as the flu, you know, causing pneumonia or someone, and you know, you would attribute that to the flu killing them. But some people have thought that, well, when it comes to this Modelo virus, they're just adding anybody there, no matter if they had it or not. And if they had it, even though that was not what necessarily caused death, they're attributing it to, the Modelo virus. I don't know why they're doing it, or if they're doing that particularly. But we do know that they're specifically including people, which I think is the most irresponsible part of this. We know now that they are including people that never even tested positive not in their confirmed cases, in their death, which would go in their confirmed cases, but not just in that, specifically adding to the death toll. That's irresponsible to me, that these leaders are held. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if this is more of a federal thing. I don't know if it's a New York. I don't know, right? I don't know if what's leading people, and you've probably heard a lot of quote unquote experts talk about this now and why they're doing it, because the incentive that they have to do it, the money they're going to be rewarded, the supplies they're going to be rewarded and stuff like that. That part, of course, I cannot confirm. All I know is that they are for sure stat pad. They are stat in the pats. Stat in the pats. Pad in the stats. Holy crap. They are padding the stats for sure. And I think that's so irresponsible. It's going to make people on the edge. It's going to make people, of course, policy is going to be influenced by stuff like this. And I just don't understand that. I just don't understand how you could do something so blatant. They're open about it now. It's no longer, again, it's not a theory anymore. They're admitting stat padding. They just did it just like that. They didn't even slowly introduce it. They're like, nah, we're going to add all that 3,700 people to the stats. And we don't even know if they had it. We just presuming they did. What kind of crap is that? We're reaching levels of what the shouldn't even be possible, guys. But here we are. So I had to do this video because I remember so vividly talking about this this morning or afternoon. And it made it sound like I was kind of knocking down that as a theory that they were padding the stats. And I can't do that anymore because they're actively for sure doing it. Now, yes, there's another conversation to be had in what other ways are they doing it, but we know for a fact that they are for sure doing it. in this particular way, and I just think it's irresponsible. I just think it's so irresponsible.